Okay, it's gonna be another stream of consciousness of mine, and I don't actually care about the background that I have here, and about the light, and about all the things that surround me while making this video. Just in the case, I'd like to remind this because kinda I'm not here for give a nice and clear picture what's happening here. I'm here to my own practice and to see myself doing this and to drill and refine my speaking skills, and here I'm back again to do this. And if you are in the picture on the same activities, I might be extremely pleased to hear you all guys who does the same stuff that I do now. And I don't know, who knows, maybe we just may flow in the parallels and help each other in a way, things regarding to English and other stuff like that. Who knows how it goes, right? Correct me if I'm wrong again. And guys, I don't really fucking even know what to speak about in this particular session of self-recording, and I just turned my switch, I just turned it on, and I mean my camera, and I made myself a mug of coffee, my favorite mug, see my favorite mug, and I'm having my coffee now. This fucking image has just began to go in shots, like it goes smoothly, then it's stops for a little while and then goes further and stuff like that, like in shots. If I'm not mistaken here, correct me natives if I'm wrong. Go in shots means to stop and continue to go on, just continually, and that fucking stuff irks me, and that happened previously, that I just pass it over, and I didn't do anything about that. It's went by itself, it disappeared by itself, and maybe in this video it will disappear by itself also, and I don't actually care about that at all. And what happened today's afternoon, excuse me, was kinda, I checked my email boxes, and my email box, that was the first one, and there was a mail from Drew, and he gave kind of a reminder that he was asked once on his YouTube channel. He was asked about some girl went and Drew, why you always do those things, repeating those again and again, and you do the same almost in the same video, almost excuse me, in every video, and why to do that all the time again and again? And that guy replied kind of, that proverb and that advice that Abraham Lincoln gave once to some audience, and he was like, in order to cut the tree, you should have, he went if I was given an opportunity to cut the tree within 5 hours, I would rather be sharpening my axe within 4 hours. In only 1 hour I would spend for cutting the tree itself. That's a pretty tricky thing to understand from the very beginning. If you are not learning or struggling with some working pieces, it might be slightly not so clearly as it could be from the first side, but it comprises very clear and short and nice idea that goes in order to do something very carefully, you should prepare yourself in all the ways, from all the views, and only once you got prepared about doing that thing, you can proceed actually with doing about what you should be doing in that particular situation. You know what I'm saying? And I tried to make this point as clear as I could. And in order to do something, you should prepare yourself in all the ways, and either over consider things in some ways. You know what I'm saying? And that's better than do something in unprepared and if you just don't care too much what you're about to be doing, and you won't do that in a proper way. I promise you won't, because it doesn't work that way. and as I'm a follower of him, I just once again got myself to the same opinion that I'm doing here on this channel. I'm very persistent about my improving in my English, and it's not a bragging here, it's my thing that I'd like to share again and again, and I like reiterating things because it's like nears me to the point of where I want to be, the point of being completely fluent about my adorable English, and I'll be there and I will fight for that with any tune in the chat. I promise I will, and I'll be there, I promise again. And guys, what would you like to know about me, maybe about my recent activities? What I do these days is actually I follow my working process, nearing step by step to the place where I want to be again, in terms of how I would be positioned in my nearest future, and what income I would have, what opportunities I would have, what people I would be surrounded by in the nearest future, and that stuff that goes along with that. And the point that I also would like to share is kind of that I quitted some sport activities for a long while, and that's sad because I don't have just extra time to do my sport activities, and I feel like I'm gonna do that I should do that, but I still don't have my time to entwine that sport activities into my just intraday activities, or just around the clock activities, you know what I'm saying. And when I will have my just spare time, my extra time to do that, I promise I will, because I've always been like a sporty guy, and I keep doing slightest piece of sport once in 2 days, let's say this way, let's put it this way, and I never quit it actually completely, but I want to do that very just more intensively as it was previously in my life. And guys, what else? Today I also received the second email from Nastya. She was asking me about this stuff, how to get here in a more short way by using more short route, and what the distance is in kilometers, and what amount of fuel we should have in order to get there. And I replied her, but not using email, by using some another social media account, and I told her Nastya, I would rather to be communicating here, and instead of mailing back and forth by using my email accounts. I hate email accounts when it goes to consistent and everyday communication. I would rather to communicate through something more convenient like social media account, where you can just text and just send that message, and without having to know, without having to do all those extra steps when you're doing your email letters, you know what I'm saying, email letters. Excuse me for stumbling here. I'm not well prepared, I'm not a self-productive speaker of English, but I wanna be the one, as I told you in this very video. And guys, I guess that's it for this short impromptu session of self-recording, as I promised myself to do that stuff let's say on a daily basis, on everyday basis, and after promising myself, I did that. I'd been doing that for, let's say, maybe 2 weeks, and then I quit it because of becoming not interested. I ran out of topics I wanted to speak about, and I ran out of all the I ran out not all the words, but I ran out of topic. I ran out of my interest to do that, because actually what happens here, nobody sees me, nobody watches me, nobody cares about what I'm doing here. And from one standpoint, it's that's how I've seen that stuff from the very beginning. Nobody would care about what I'm doing here, what I would be doing here, excuse me. And I'm doing this for myself. I'm not about to deceive you or say that I'm doing this for all the people on the world. That's deception. It's not like that. I'm doing this for myself, for my English, for those people who interested in my activities, who do the same thing, who want to learn, who want to grow, who want to advance in their English. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here for them, for those nice people, on some maybe unknown area of internet land, I should say. And guys, actually I've never been kind of guy who wanted to do a lot like for some maybe people who are not following the way of learning, when they don't want to know everything around them. I'm not here to educate people. That's my point. I'm not here to educate people, to pull them along with me. I'm not about that at all. I just want to give you my piece of my learning process, and if you see the world of your English in the same way, then we might connect, and we might even communicate. We even might create something new in terms of how we can learn together, how we can like speak more advanced and more just fluent way, and more using more just sophisticated vocabulary, and intertwining new crafted pieces of our adorable English into our speeches. And guys, I want to make around 20 minutes here, because for the recent times I didn't make something like longer than 12 minutes, and let's see just how it goes by itself. I haven't drunk my coffee here completely. I have here like a half of my mug, and I'm a coffee man, as I told you previously. I'm keen on coffee. I'm coffee maniac, and I don't drink too much alcohols these days. And I actually, for the most part, I quitted drinking alcohols at all. I mean, I drink once in a while, but I don't see any fucking reasons to do that, because I feel myself more exhilarated without having any alcohols. I see myself with a very clear mind, with very appointed and sharp mind, I should say, without having any alcohols in my life. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't actually quit completely drinking all the alcohols, but with time I became like disappointed about consumption any alcohols in any dosages, even in tiniest dosages. You just not getting things that your organism needs to consume, and that's not a point of your being here, right? You should like be doing what's helpful, what's like useful for your body, for your brain, for your whatever you would call it, like for your entire being here. And I'm here, I'm doing this. I'm trying to restrain alcohols. I'm trying to restrain any other temptations, and I'm trying to just have a sharpened and appointed, like keep my mind on the edge, keep myself on the edge, very pointed, very concentrated, time by time, and that helps me to grow, that helps me to achieve my new heights. And guys, what are you particularly to be doing about like what you do in your lives, how you live, how you approach your lives? Maybe you would tell me like one time. If you want to share, I would be especially like even mesmerized in a way, in order to hear you all about what would you be doing in your lives. And I don't know, I always want to hear any other people's opinion who like feel themselves like I feel myself, and maybe you have the same temper, you have the same attitude to life, you approach your working and handing out process in the same way that I approach my both working and chilling out processes, and how you do things in your life, how you meet right people on your way, how you make friends, how your friendships goes, and how you like advance, how you grow in your life. And I also wanted to know maybe you have some other like related to English practices and how you do those, how you like. What do you think particularly about my way of learning? I'm trying to learn not by the book style, but by the native style, I should say. I learn like a small child learns when he grows, when she grows. I mean the child. I learn like a child, like a native English speaking child. I hear new phrase, I hear new grammar construction, I hear new like piece of language, and I wanna grasp that as a complete unit without having to know it in particularities. How should I construct that phrase? How it goes? I memorize it completely. I memorize it in context. I memorize it connected and tied to a particular piece of life, and that's when it becomes more filled with a sense for me. That's from my standpoint, and you're welcome to share your own approach, how you see your English. And I already made, let's see, I don't know, about 15 minutes here, and I'm glad about that, and maybe I would be like extremely pleased to hear your opinions about what's been said here, how I try to reveal this stuff that resides within me, and how I showed you my picture of world, my picture of my learning process about my English. And thanks for your attendance here, thanks for your attention, and for giving some pieces of your attention here, and for listening to me, and for watching me this time and all other times that I made my videos. And that's it for tonight, and I'd like you to be like wealthy, healthy, effervescent, and do whatever you want in your lives. And that's it. See you until a while. Bye.